In this video, I am going to explain about servlets and how do we execute the servlets and what are the steps we need to follow to execute a servlet application. So first I will explain what is a servlet. So servlet is a Java application which executes at the server side. So what is the server here? The server is called here as web server. Web server will receive the request from the clients and process the request and generate a response process. This is called client server communication in the form of request and response kind of thing mechanism. So that kind of communication is happen in case of servlets, and servlets doesn't have the main method like our Java console applications. Okay, and there are two more things we need to learn about the servlets. One is there are two packages called Java x.servlet.star and Java x.servlet.http.star. Java x.servlet.star will import all the classes, interfaces, methods that are defined under servlet package. Java x.servlet.http.star will import all the classes, interfaces, methods or any other supported things downloaded from the HTTP subpackage. See, in Java x.servlet.http, Java X is called super package, servlet is called subpackage, and HTTP is another subpackage. And we all of us know very well about the java.io.star to performing input and output related operations. We are going to use some of the classes and interfaces under java.io. That is the reason we imported three packages in this program. So that is about why we are importing three packages, because we aimed at developing a simple servlet application to display a hello world message using six different header level tags. So there are six different header level tags in HTML. H1 named as H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, H6. So using these six header levels, I'm displaying the same message hello world six times with different colors. With the different colors. Okay. Now, first we need to declare our class. So I named it as hello servlet. By seeing its name, you can understand that it is a demo program about the servlet to display a hello world message. If any servlet, if you want to build our own servlet, it must extends either HTTP servlet or generic servlet class or servlet interface. So there are three ways to implement servlet. By implementing servlet interface is the first choice. By extending generic servlet is the second choice, and by extending the HTTP servlet is the third choice. And most of the web applications are HTTP based applications. That is the reason we also chosen this HTTP servlet class. So that is available in Java x.servlet.http.star package. Now we want to display some information on the browser. After running this servlet application, where we are going to get the output? We are going to get the output on a web browser. That's why it is called as web application. Whereas when you are running your console applications, you are going to get the output on a command prompt. Okay, on a terminal. That is called console application. When you are running your applet programs, frames programs, AWT programs, swings programs, you are going to get the output on a window. That is called as window based application. So this is the difference between console application, window application and web application. So servlets are helpful to build the web applications. Now I want to display some information on the browser. So the main logic we should enclose inside the service method. The service method is expecting two important arguments. One is request argument, the other one is response argument. If you see here, HTTP servlet request is the first argument. Okay, and its corresponding object that is passed here as the first argument. HTTP servlet request is a built-in class, and its object naming we assign it as request. And one more argument is called HTTP servlet response, and its object name is response. And by default, this method is throwing two exceptions related to IO and servlet exceptions. That is the reason after specifying the method name, I use the keyword throws and I separate the exception names by using comma. So servlet exception and IO exception. Next one. Now, I want to display something on the browser means when in case of console applications, generally we are using system.out.println statement to display any information. We are using println method of outstream on defined in system class. But that is helpful to display the output on a console, command prompt. But if I want to display something on the browser, I need to take help of a stream that is called writer stream. So print writer, and we need to call the get writer method. So this get writer method is defined inside the HTTP servlet response. That is the reason we access get writer method with the help of response object. What is this? This response is the object of which class? HTTP servlet response class. Okay, but this get writer method is returning something to us. What type of values are returned by get writer? Get writer is returning print writer object. That is why I am holding that information in a variable or object called OUT, and that is belongs to print writer string. Now, what kind of response message is generated by the server? The server is going to generate a response. What kind of contents it is going to hold? That is always text slash HTML. So please remember these two statements. One is for displaying information on the browser. The other one is we are conveying a message that what kind of response message is generated by the web server. See, in our case, we are going to use Tomcat web server. So Tomcat, Apache Tomcat is a web server. So we need to install that server to run our servlet applications. Why? Because servlet is a server-side related application. The servlets are executed at server side. That's why it is called as a servlet. Now, I want to display the hello world message 6 times by using 6 header labels. So I already declared out variable, okay, out object. So out is having a method, the print writer out is having a method called println. Inside the println, whatever the information I am passing, that information will be displayed on the browser. So what is the meaning of this h1? H1 is the highest header level 1, h6 is the least header level. That means highest font size will be applied on H1, least font size will be applied on the H6. And I want to display the same message in different colors. The first one aqua color, next one green color, next one blue, next one red, next one lime color, next one magenta color. All these are different predefined colors. I want to design my web page more stylish, so I am using the style attribute. Which style I want to improve? I want to change the color. If I didn't specify the color attribute, color property inside this tag, then by default all messages are displayed in the black color. But here I want to reset. I want to change the property of the h1 tag. So by default h1, h2, h3, h4, h5, h6 tags are displays the contents in black color. But other than black, if I want to get some other color, I need to pass style attribute. I need to set property called color, and I need to assign some value for that color. Okay, so 6 times I want to get the same information, and 6 colors I am assigning it. Once my job is over, I need to close all this. Okay, I am closing the service method and I am closing the class. So this is the closing of service method. Only one method we defined inside the hello servlet class. So this is about a simple hello servlet class. Okay, so this is typing our servlet program is completed. Now we need to follow a predefined web directory structure to run our servlet applications. So I'm going to display that one. See this. So this is a predefined web directory structure. This web directory structure includes a default directory that is named as web apps. So web apps is a place to create web applications. So inside web apps, we need to create a directory with your own name. So here I am interested to create a project. That is, this is my first project. So I named it as my project. My project contains some website information. So I need to again create one more subdirectory with the name webinf. See, webinf is a part of the directory structure. It should be capital and that should be separated by using hyphen. So don't change the cases and don't change the names. If we are not followed the web directory structure at runtime, we are getting errors related to the web page was not found, like that we are getting the errors. So it is very careful. We need to create a directory with the same name like this, webinf. Inside the webinf directory, see, my project is created inside web apps. WebINF is created inside my project. So inside the WebINF, we need to create two folders and one file. So this is a file, that's why it is having an extension called XML. These two are boxes, these are called directories or folders. So we need to create one more folder with the name classes, all lowercase, one more folder with the name lib, and one more file with the name web.xml. Okay, so this is a predefined web directory structure everyone should follow. Only we can change this name. In place of my project, you can give your project name. You can give any short name of your project or full name of your project. Any valid name you can give it in place of my project. But the rest of the things are all are fixed. We don't have any privileges to change the names of this webinf, names of the classes, names of the lib, and names of the web.xml. Okay, now where this web apps is available, as I told you, after installing the Tomcat, we need to install the Tomcat to run our servlet applications. Why? Because Tomcat is the best example for one of the web server. So after installing the Tomcat software, we are able to see this web apps folder inside the Tomcat folder. So this web apps will come up along with the Tomcat server software. Okay, and I already installed a software that is called XAMPP. So after installing the XAMPP software, I'm able to get Apache Tomcat, MySQL, and other related softwares that are available in XAMPP. So I am not separately installing the Tomcat server. Once I install the XAMPP server, automatically I am able to use Tomcat web server. Okay. Now, after installing the XAMPP server, where it is located, I am going to show. So I'm opening my computer. So in C drive, generally after installing your software, it is located in the C drive. See, XAMPP. This is the XAMPP server. After installing the XAMPP server, I'm able to get this folder. Now I need to open it. So if I observe this XAMPP server, I am able to get MySQL. MySQL is one of the folder, because yesterday in my video, JDBC video, I created a table with the help of MySQL database software. How I got MySQL software? After installing the XAMPP server only, I'm able to get that MySQL database, and inside I can create n number of databases and n number of tables, n number of records I can insert. I can select my records, I can update my record, I can delete my records. Okay, that is about MySQL. But we are not dealing with any database application right now. Just we are going to display simple hello world message. For that we need a Tomcat web server. Okay, as I told you that once we open this Tomcat web server, we are able to see the default directory name that is called as web apps. So there are many folders out there, you can find out web apps. So web apps is a place that is going to create web applications. Okay, so we need to open this. Inside we need to create our own project folder with our own name. So I am interested to give my project name as my project. Okay, my project. Now according to this the directory web directory structure, so open my project. Now it is empty. Initially it is empty because I'm not created any directory structure as of now. Just I opened the web apps folder. I created with my interest a folder called my project. According to the directory structure, we need to create what next? We need to create webinf next. So I am going to create webinf. So new. So follow the same case. If it is capital, use capital. webinf. So webinf, this folder is going to hold the website information of your website web application. Inside the webinf, what I am going to create? Inside the webinf, I am going to create two folders with the name classes and lib, and one file with the name web.xml. So first I am going to create one more folder with the name classes, all lowercase, and lib, all lowercase, and one more file that is called as a web.xml file, but that file I already typed in my edit plus software. Please see, there is a file named as web.xml. This is web.xml. So this web.xml is a deployment descriptor. It is a deployment, it is called as a deployment descriptor file. If you want to run, if you want to deploy your application, then we must need this file that is named as web.xml file. So what are the information that is holded by this web.xml file? This web.xml file will convey the information about the how many web applications are designed and what are the names and what is the URL. See, as I told you that it is a web application, we need an URL for our website. So that URL is provided with the help of URL pattern tag. So always the URL is prefixed with forward slash. Okay, first I will explain. It is a web application, so web app, and this web app application is built by using a servlet. Good. Next one, what is our servlet class name? The servlet class name is hello servlet. I hope you remember the name of the servlet. It is going to display the hello world message, so I named it as hello servlet. According to the logical point of view, in my web application right now I'm using only one servlet. This is my first servlet, so I assign a logical name to my first my servlet, that is called as first. See, servlet class means developer's name. Servlet name means it is a logical name. Logically it is my first servlet. Now once these two are defined, immediately you need to close the servlet. If any tag that is begins with forward slash, that is called closing tag. Now, how we need to map our servlet at runtime in the address bar of the web browser? We need to provide the URL pattern. So URL pattern we have to choose. So always the URL pattern is prefixed with slash. Generally, we are giving the same name as the class name for our URL pattern. What is our class name? Hello servlet. The same name I am using, but in place of hello servlet, I can give ABC, XYZ, any name I can give it. Using this address only, I have to I can access my website. To access my website, I need to type this URL in the address bar of the web browser. If I want to access the Google page, what should I do? I need to open the browser and I need to type www.google.com. In the same way, I need to type it /hello servlet and then only I am able to get the output of the hello servlet. For that reason, we need to map. That is called servlet mapping. So which servlet I am going to map? The first servlet in my web application is mapped with /hello servlet. So mapping process is completed. I don't have any more servlets in my program. I have only one servlet. That's why immediately I'm closing this web application. This is named as web.xml. This should be saved under webinf. This web.xml is saved under webinf. So typing is completed. We need to save this one. So file, save as, okay, my computer and the C drive. Please remember where the XAMPP in that Tomcat. Okay. Next one is web apps. In web apps, my project name is my project. In this, inside the webinf, I need to save this file with the name web.xml. XML full form is extensible markup language. It is used for exchange the information, carries the information, and it is main purpose is it is acts as a deployment descriptor for our servlet applications. Now, so according to this structure, I saved the web.xml file under webinf, which is created under my project. Okay, I will tell you the purpose of classes folder and lib folder. Classes is a folder, a directory that is used to hold the .class files. See, Servlet is a Java program. After compiling it, if there are no errors, it generates a bytecode that is called as .class file. That is called as .class file. So all .class files of your servlets are holded by a folder that is named as classes. And one more file is called lib file. See, when we are dealing with database and other type of applications, we need to hold some third-party library files. At that time, those third-party library files, we need to download it and we need to maintain them under lib folder. Okay, and next one is web.xml. Just now I explained about what is the importance of web.xml. In web.xml, we are using the three names of the servlets. Every servlet is having three names: developer's name, deployer's name, and logical name. So what is developer's name? What is deployer's name? Hello servlet is called developer's name. I define my class with the name hello servlet. And first is logical, it is the first. So it is called as logical name. /hello servlet is the deployer's name. Deployer's name means if I want to run this one, I need to check with this URL pattern. This is called deploy. So every servlet is having three names. One is developer's name, another one is logical name of the servlet, the last one is deployer's name of the servlet. Okay, so now You see this. Yesterday, I mean, I already created a folder with the name Java Lab. Okay, is in the Java Lab that is available in D drive. So I saved a file with the name hello servlet. So hello servlet.java. Now I need to open the command prompt. Command prompt. So I move to D drive first. CD Java Lab is my directory name. In this I saved the file hello servlet. So I need to run that servlet. Hello servlet dot java. So I am checking for syntax errors. Why? Because the servlet class doesn't have the main method. So it is not possible to run by using a Java command. But we can test the syntax errors by using a Java C command. Yes, there are no errors. It is successfully compiled. So now we need to open this PC D drive, because in D drive Java Lab it is going to create a .class file. See, the type of the file is .class file and the name of the file is hello servlet.class. So we need to copy this .class file and we need to paste it. So where we are going to paste it? As usual, my project WebInf contains a folder called classes. Initially it is empty. Just now I compile my servlet class that is called as hello servlet. It is generated a file that is called as hello servlet.class. So classes folder purpose is to hold the .class files of required servlets. Lib file is required to hold the third party library files. As of now we don't need any library files, so it is empty only. You can check it, it is empty. Web.xml file just now I created. Web app, servlet, servlet name, servlet class name, servlet mapping, again servlet name, URL pattern, closing the web app. So web.xml is acts as a deployment descriptor file that gives information about the URL pattern of the servlet. Now, okay, so now I'm going to open the steps that are required to run a servlet application. Just wait. This steps to execute a servlet application. So I'm going to increase the font size. See, first step is compile servlet program, and after successful compilation means it should generate the .class file. Okay, that is our first step. Yes, just now we done compilation step. So first one is completed. Next one, create web applications directory structure. Create web application directory structure. This should be created under web apps folder of the Tomcat. Yes, we already done this one. We find out the Tomcat folder under XAMPP, and we also find out the web apps folder under Tomcat. Inside the web apps we created my project. My project is the name of our first web application. And after that, inside the my project, what should we create? We create another folder with the name web analyst. This job is also already done. And after that, we need to create two more folders with the name. We need to create two more folders with the name classes and okay, lib. One is classes, another one is lib, and one more is web.xml. So three things we need to keep inside the WebNF. Two folders with the name classes and lib, and one file with the name web.xml, where we are going to create all these three under WebNF. Okay, yes, this first step is completed, second step is completed, third step is completed, and fourth step is completed. And copy the servlet.class file. Yes, this job is also done. After compilation, we find out the .class file of the corresponding Java servlet, and we copy it and paste it into the classes folder. Okay. After that, create the web.xml file. Yes, I shown you how to create a web.xml file, which includes the servlet's names and URL pattern and logical name of the servlet. After that, what is the next step? The next job is we need to start the Tomcat server. This was not yet done. So now I'm going to access XAMPP server. See, this is the XAMPP software. After opening it, we will get a window like this. Here, we need to start Apache. See, by default, admin buttons are disabled. Once we start, then those buttons are enabled. And we need to start the Tomcat. That is the last step. So we need to start. We need to click on start button, then it will take some time to enable this button. Once it is enabled, then we need to click on this button. Yes, it is successfully started. So then if it is successfully started, then only we will get this admin button. So once I clicked on it, then I am able to redirect it to a web browser with the name localhost colon 8080. So localhost colon 8080 means localhost. Actually, my machine is acting as both client and server. So the host is locally available in the same machine. That's why it is named as localhost. And by default, Tomcat web server is using a port number that is called as 8080. If you remember, MySQL is using the default port number 3306. In JDBC program, we use a port number 3306. That is for MySQL. Similarly, every software is connected by using a port number. So Tomcat web servers are using 8080 port number. Now you can read this message. If you are seeing this, you have successfully installed Tomcat. Congratulations. That means in our machine, so Tomcat software is installed successfully. Now we are able to run our servlet programs or any other web application programs. Okay. Now, what is the next step? After starting the Tomcat server, open the browser. See this. Open the browser and type the following. We already get 8080. Up to this, we already get. What should we type? We need to type where our project is available. My project is available under a folder called my project. And after that, we need to give the URL of servlet. What is my URL of the servlet? That is available in web.xml file. / hello servlet is the my URL of servlet. Now, so what should I type here? After 8080, / give your project name. So here my project name is my project / what is the URL pattern of the servlet class? / hello servlet. So / hello servlet. Now I need to press enter button, then I am able to get the output of the program. See, so I am displaying the hello world message with 6 different header levels. The first one, H1, is the highest header level. H6 is the least header level. By default, the colors are black. I changed it to different colors as per my choice. Okay, so this is the procedure to run a servlet application by using different steps. We need to create a file, okay, that servlet file, and you need to define your class, you need to import the packages, and you need to define the service method and print writer and all everything. Once that job is over, you need to find out the Tomcat folder that is located in your system, and you need to find out the web apps. Inside the web apps, you need to create a project folder directory structure by satisfying the project directory structure, web directory structure, and you need to compile the Java class. After getting the .class file, you need to paste it into the classes folder, and you need to define the web.xml file. Web.xml file contains the information about the servlets. Okay, so this way we are going to run. Now I am going to show you one more program which is going to display the system date information 6 times using 6 different header levels in 6 different colors. Same thing. Only thing, the difference is here we are displaying the message called hello world. In place of hello world, I am going to display the system date. Okay, I will show you that file also. See this one. As usual, we need to import the required packages. There are 3 packages we need. One is javax.servlet.star, javax.servlet.http.star, and java.io.star. So for readability purpose, I assigned the servlet class name is date servlet. By seeing the name of the servlet, you can identify that the purpose of this servlet is to display system date information. And if you want to build servlets, we can go for extends HTTP servlet as one of the choice. So I can go for the third one, extends HTTP servlet. Now we need to display some information on the browser. Which information? I want to display the system date. Okay, so date is a predefined class that is defined in a predefined package that is called java.util.date. So I'm creating an object for the date so that the object will capture the information about the system date and time information that I'm going to display with 6 different colors: magenta color, blue color, red color, green, lime, violet, using 6 different header levels: H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6. So this one is very simple. As I told you, explained that the service method is expecting 2 arguments. One is request argument. The other one is response argument. And by default, it throws two types of exceptions, servlet exception and IO exception. Now I want to display some information on the browser. For that, I need to call getWriter method, but this getWriter method is defined in response. Okay, with the help of response object, I am going to access getWriter, but it returns printWriter object. So that is, I named it as out. With the help of this out, only I am accessing println. So as I told you that system.out.println will not work here to display the information on the browser. If you want to display the output on a browser, you can go for printWriter. And you need to specify what kind of response message is going to be generated by your web server. It is going to generate a target response page with the combination of text or HTML. So I'm displaying. Finally, once my job is over, I need to close the service method. I need to close the class. So first, I need to save this application with the name date servlet. In D drive, Java Lab is the folder available. In this, I am going to save date servlet. Okay, date servlet. This is first thing we need to do. And one more thing, see, for a single web application, we need only one web.xml file. One web application should contain only one web.xml file. I'm going to create a date class under the same my project only. So my project already defined web.xml file. In the same web.xml file, I am going to define one more servlet class with the name date servlet. So logically, date servlet is my second servlet program. Logically, okay. And for this new date servlet program, I need to assign a meaningful URL pattern. For that, what I am doing? So I am going to copy this entire code except web app tags. I am copying this. Just I am pasting here. Okay. In place of hello servlet, I am using date servlet. This is the developers class name, and logically in my project it is my second servlet. So logically I assign some name second. For my second servlet, I need to assign URL pattern. So what is the URL pattern? Generally, it is always prefixed with / name of your class name. My class name is date servlet. So I need to save this. This file is already saved under my project under web-inf. So just I'm simply click on save button. I edited previously my web app contains only one servlet. Right now my web apps contains two servlets. One is the hello servlet, the other one is the date servlet. So this is also completed. Web directory structure is also available. No need to create one more time. Okay, if you want to build one more project, again you need to create one more directory structure. But if you want to create another page for the same project, then no need to create one more directory structure. Then what should we do? We need to run the date servlet program. So I'm opening the command prompt. Okay, Java C date servlet.java. See, if I'm getting this screen means there are no compilation errors. We cannot run by using a Java command like our console applications. Okay, why? Because servlets doesn't have the main method, and servlets are Java applications which can run by a server. So that's why we took the help of the web server called Apache Tomcat Web Server. Now after compilation, we will get a code that is called date servlet. So find out the date servlet.class. We need to copy this .class file and paste it into the classes folder. Previously, my classes folder is having only one .class file that is called hello servlet. Just now I executed one more servlet called date servlet. So its corresponding file we need to paste it here, date servlet. So once we maintain the classes and everything, what is the next step? We need to open the Tomcat. We need to start the Tomcat server. Tomcat server is already running, but just now I uploaded .class file of the date servlet. So we need to stop once. Okay, again restart. Once we restart it, then that admin button is going to be enabled. It will take some time. Yes, it is enabled. If you click on admin button, you will be redirected to a web browser. As usual, it is the default port number is localhost:8080. Here you need to specify what is your project name. My project name is my project slash. What is your URL pattern? In my previous example, my URL pattern is hello servlet. But right now, I'm going to execute date servlet. So for date servlet, I given date slash date servlet as the URL pattern. See here. See, right now the time is and today's date and the time is this one. So my system date is going to be displayed day, month, okay, date, minutes, hours, minutes, seconds. If I refresh the page, this time is going to be changed. If I refresh the page, see 43. Now this 43 becomes some other number, 47. So in this way, we can run the servlet applications. So only two things you have to remember. One is this directory structure is very, very important. You should follow this directory structure if you want to run, if you want to build a web application using servlets, we must follow the predefined web directory structure. And we need to follow these steps. What are the steps? Again, I'm repeating, please remember, you need to compile your servlet program and make sure that it should generate .class files. Next one is we need to create a web application directory structure under web apps folder of Tomcat software. Okay, where this Tomcat server is available under XAMPP. Okay, now once you created a project folder with the name my project, then you need to create webinf folder. Inside the webinf folder, you need to create lib folder as well as class folder. One more file that is called web.xml file. After that, your compiled .class file, we have to move it to paste it to the classes folder. Lib folder is empty. Right now, we don't need any third-party library files, and but we need to create web.xml for deployment descriptor purpose to run our application. That it contains the information about the how many servlets we are using or how many web pages we are using, and corresponding URL information is also provided in the web.xml file. Once all these things are over, we need to start the Tomcat server, and we need to type the URL of our servlet after the localhost colon 8080. So in this way, we can run the different servlets. So in this video, I executed two things. One is displaying the hello world message 6 times by using 6 different header labels, and displaying the system date using 6 different colors using 6 different header labels.